But Newcastle are working on the deal to sign Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt.
What's going on, lads and lasses? The good news just keeps on coming. We've seen, of course, reports yesterday from Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein and many other journalists out there saying that Newcastle United have, of course, put in a bid for Hugo Ekitike, and it is looking very, very promising now. A lot of Newcastle fans will remember Hugo Ekitike, and some Newcastle fans probably have PTSD from the name Hugo Ekitike being mentioned, of course, from when he was very close to joining war back in January of 2022. It was all done, the medical, everything, just needed the signature on the dotted line, and he ended up going to PSG. Obviously, it flopped there, and he ended up now at Eintracht Frankfurt, where he absolutely exploded at the Bundesliga side. And of course, we are in for him once again, not for 20 million, but for a massive 70+ million bid. So let's get into it right now and let's talk about this deal. So of course, we're recording this on the July 15th, 2025. And things are moving pretty fast. So, of course, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. But the source breakdown, like I say, it isn't fan fiction. It isn't TikTok rumours. It is Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein and Keith Downey all singing off of the same hymn sheet with this one. So, when that happens, we have to pay attention to it. And, of course, Romano coming out first with the exclusive, saying Newcastle submitted an official bid today. Of course, this was yesterday for Eintracht Frankfurt. Hugo Ekitike proposal higher than 70 million previously offered by other clubs this summer. Negotiations are underway. David Ornstein then following that up with details saying Newcastle are going with in with a 75 million bid. Keith Downey adds that senior club delegates, including Steve Nixon, flew to Germany last week, kicked off talks, and things went so well that they brought the next round of negotiations to Newcastle's pre-season base in Austria. That's where all things are happening right now, face-to-face with Ekitike's camp. And this isn't a polite knock on the door neither. This is Newcastle United kicking the door right in. The details of the deal, the numbers are absolutely huge. We're talking between 75 million euros to 80 million euros, or roughly in our money, 65 million pounds to 70 million pounds. That absolutely smashes the record that was previously set by us for Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad of 63 million. So that right there tells you the intent of this deal. Now, I've got to say, before I go on to the next bit of this, of course, is that this deal does not mean that Alexander Isak will leave Newcastle United. We have had assurances from the club that this deal, of course, is going to be, to play alongside Isak and partner with Isak, not to replace Isak. So everybody out there who is not a Newcastle United fan licking their lips and thinking, wow, this is a chance for to get Alexander Isak, forget about it. Dream over. It's never ever happening. Newcastle United are buying Hugo Ekitike and hopefully getting Hugo Ekitike for, of course, that reason to have, Isak and Ekitike together in the same team. And the club has come out and basically said that. David Ornstein said that as well. But Eintracht Frankfurt, of course, are not rolling over on their feet. They're wanting to release close, of course, of 100 million, which is 86 million pounds. But it looks like we could maybe make a deal for that as well. But they are holding out for something close to that. And they know that they've got a gem here in Ekitike. Absolutely fantastic player, banging in the goals last season. And when you combine two of Isak and Ekitike's goal tallies together, you've got 49 goals. That is just absolutely huge. That will be a huge difference maker for us challenging for a Premier League title this season coming, if we could get Ekitike in, of course, before the season starts. And it's a big upfront payment, around 76 million. It's been rumoured that we've put on the table, with the rest structured in performance-based add-ons. Frankfurt, of course, want as much guaranteed cash now as possible. But here's the good news. Ekitike wants to move, of course, according to Julian Lawrence. He's coming out and he's saying personal terms are basically sorted. 5-year deals on the table. His camp is just waiting for the clubs to shake hands. He's even reportedly ready for his medical. That's how close this is getting, of course, according to what Julian Lawrence is saying. And why now? The bigger picture, like I say, if you're a Newcastle fan, the name Ekitike probably gives you PTSD from January of 2022, with the deal, you know, when it was almost there, it was just having to be signed on the table. But this is just absolutely huge news. In 2025, we've come back in, and like I say, it's not for 20 million, but for 70 mil plus, because we have never stopped rating Hugo Ekitike, and with Callum Wilson gone, Champions League football demanding a real squad depth, this move is making a lot of sense. This isn't, like I say, about replacing Isak. This is about pairing him. Imagine the flexibility, you know, of Ekitike playing through the middle or drifting out wide, you know, and then Isak drops deep, linked play. You've got Alanga, Gordon, you know, Barnes, Oos in there as well, Joe Linton, and now, you know, maybe Ekitike. That is absolutely frightening. 4-4-2, false 9, 4-2, 3-1, something like that. Fluid front three. Eddie Howe will be absolutely buzzing with this option, because this would mean that would have a terrifying front four of Alanga, Gordon, Isak, Ekitike. I mean, that is just seeing it right now puts you right in the option of a dark horse for the Premier League title coming. That is what that puts you at. This is a statement, a proper here to stay move from the owners. It's not buying potential, buying firepower right now. What could go wrong with the deal though? Look, like I say, you know, at the moment it is quite early in the deal, but it is moving fast. Nothing's really done yet. So we've been here before, like we've talked about back in January of 2022. Frankfurt still want a little bit more on their deal, but they are tough negotiators. But we've been here before. We've dealt with teams where they have been tough negotiators and will have won out in the end. Other clubs are circulating around the deal as well. And like I say, you know, he bagged a lot of goals last season in the Bundesliga, and he is a player that is going to garner a lot of attention, and we are in the front line for getting them. You know, we're ahead of the pack on this one, and the soft deadline, I would say, for to get him signed in time for pre-season tour Asia, that would be the soft deadline in my book. We could get him in before then that would be great, because that allows him time to embed himself into the squad ahead of course, the season, and that would guarantee a really good chance for the lad to be at his best, you know, going into the season as well. So final thoughts and takeaways from this. This is huge, literally seismic. A club record bid on the table, Ekitike ready to come, and the club moving like an absolute monster in this transfer window. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. Is Hugo Ekitike the right signing? I mean, you've heard what I think about him. This lad is absolutely the real deal, and having him alongside Isak, that just puts us to a whole nother level. But the price tag, would you pay the price that is being asked of the release clause, or would you expect to see Newcastle go, you know, a little bit lower than that and try and get at least a little bit of a bargain on this deal? But either way, it's a bargain in my opinion, because this lad is just absolutely amazing. The lad that, you know, we were after originally before Isak. So if we can get him and also keep Isak and Gordon and, you know, all of what other star players, that is huge. We should definitely be doing that. But let us know what you think down in the comments below. Until next time, hit like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. However, lads.